welcome or a welcome back to my channel. This week we are going to be doing a reading vlog, trying to see if I can reach my 2024 reading goal. It is currently, you know, those days in between Christmas and New Year's that it's like, literally what day is it and what's going on, how many days are there? That's where we're currently in right now. It's currently the 26th, so we have 5 days until New Year's, and I'm currently at 51 books out of 55 for my 2024 reading goal. So we only have 4 books left to read. I do think we can do that in 5 days, but like, we'll see. I'll definitely have to grind reading, so I think that this will be a fun video trying to see if I can reach that goal. I also feel like this has been my year of, I've read a ton, obviously. I'm at 51 books of the year, but I haven't found that many 5 stars or like books in general that I've just been like obsessed with, like all-consuming books. So I kind of hope that I can find some of those too. So we'll see if I can get some 5 stars in this video too. Currently the book that I just started I think has the potential to be a 5-star. It is The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. I've finally started reading this book. I have put it off for the longest time. It has been on my TBR for years, but I've put it off because I know that's just going to be so sad. I've seen like reviews where people are like, you don't read this book, you feel this book, which usually I love books like that, that you just like feel everything. This is a historical fiction about World War II. So I'm just like, I know that there could be some horrible, devastating things that could happen in this. So that's why I put it off for so long. But I'm only 20% in and I have been loving this. I'm reading it on my Kindle. I'm in such Kindle phase right now. I don't know why, I just am obsessed with reading on it. And it's about 2 sisters who are in France in World War II. It's about the start of the war currently and them just like not knowing the severity of what's going on in other places in the world and how severe the war is gonna be. And we're following 2 sisters who have very different like agendas in the war. They have a 10-year age gap, so they're very different women in general. And one has, her husband has gone off to war, so she is kind of more reserved, just doing as she's told, doing as everyone else is doing, kind of just like following the pack to stay safe and to protect her daughter. And then the other sister is younger and she's kind of like doing anything she can to slowly like rebel against the Germans. She's trying to tell her sister to like not believe what everyone's saying about the war, and she's trying to like do what she can to fight back a little bit. So it's interesting that we have like the 2 perspectives on the war, especially as it's starting. I'm loving it so far and we're only 20% in, so I'm really excited to get into Kristen Hanna's books and get more into historical fiction because I'm like so interested in history topics and stuff, and I like have read a couple historical fiction books or watched shows that are historical fiction and I'm obsessed with them. So I'm really excited to get more into this genre, and hopefully after this book I'll have a new favorite author that I can go to. I'm really excited to just cozy up tonight and binge read this, and hopefully it will be the 52nd book of the year. Thoughts to give. First is that I feel like I just love this writing style so much. I feel like with historical fiction you could like get put off or be worried that's gonna give like textbook or so much information and stuff like that, but it's so not. I feel like so immersed in this story and just like brought into this world of World War II and being in France and all the different things going on at the time. It's not just like information dump on you, which I love so much, and I feel so just in this world. And I really enjoy as readers like knowing what is to come and what's to happen and like the severity of the war when all of these characters don't. I feel like it's such a like a crazy thing going on that some people are like, oh, it's all gonna be fine, like they're gonna come back, like nothing's gonna happen. With the 2 sisters having such different opinions of what to do at the beginning of this and like who to go with and like the morally gray areas of like, do you save yourself and your family, but is it going against your morals? But like you have to do this to survive. And it's just crazy to think about of like, what would you do in this type of situation? Would you go with like your morals and what's right, or would you go with like just trying to keep everyone alive and safe? I'm loving this so much, and I'm definitely gonna keep binging it tonight. I'm really nervous for the end of this though, because I feel like we just know what's coming and how bad this war gets. I'm also gonna go like take a break and make a soup tonight. I feel like we're just like getting all the cozy vibes, so I might do that now. I'll start on making my soup and maybe I'll listen to it while I do that. There is just so many bad things happening, as you can assume. So many just devastating things, one after the other, after the other. Like, I'm not doing well. No one's doing well. I am on 80%. I'm going to sit myself right here and finish this right now. And I can't imagine what's to come. I'm scared, but excited at the, okay, it's weird to say excited. I'm like, I need to know what's gonna happen, but I'm terrified. That's how I feel. Let's do it. I can't stop crying. And I know it's just gonna get worse. Wow. Wow, Mary. Look at, this is what we do. His little leg. I just finished The Nightingale, and wow. I feel like I just need to let it sink in a bit and talk about my full thoughts on it tomorrow, but that was one of the best books I've ever read in like so many different ways, and like such a new genre and style of book too. And I have so many thoughts. I like want to watch a movie about World War II now, but I probably shouldn't for like the headspace that that's gonna put me in with both of these. But wow is all. Like, that was crazy. He's like, who are you talking to? He literally is judging me so hard. Look at that face. Oh, let's put it into my Goodreads to say I finished another book. Here we go. Okay, it is time to go over my thoughts on The Nightingale. I really don't even know where to begin with my thoughts. I'll start by saying 5 stars. Of course, this was a 5-star read. This was just so beautiful, the whole story. I feel like I have no notes at all. Like, just a perfect, beautiful story of the war and womanhood and the contributions that women had in World War II and the strength it took for them to do what they did. It was just so beautiful, and I feel like I was really there with the sisters through every hard, tragic thing they had to go through. I really felt immersed in the story. I feel like I said that yesterday. I just felt placed right into the war, and I felt everything they felt. I know that this is like one of the most popular books right now, but I'm going to be telling everyone I know to read this if they haven't. It just was like so powerful in every way. I of course have heard so many stories, and I know like the historical events of World War II, but I feel like my eyes were just open to a whole other country a whole other perspective of people during the war, and especially women in countries where all of the men had to go to war and they were left to pick up the pieces, deal with what was happening in their own countries, do the like sneaky behind the scenes things to help the war in the ways that they could. And I feel like this has gotten me into a whole rabbit hole of learning some more stories about World War II in general. I feel like a lot of people have like a certain historical event that they like are really interested in. And I feel like mine's always been World War II and the Holocaust and everything. I feel like that's a really common one. But I feel like it's brought that interest back up for me, which I love. And I really feel like even if you think historical fiction is not for you, you should still pick up this book and try it out, or give this a try to see if you could even like historical fiction, because it's just so good. I feel like just the narrative of it is so good. The sisters' stories in general is so beautiful and heartbreaking, and I just have so much to say. I love this book so much. So this was a 5-star and probably one of the best books I've read all year, and I'm so happy that we did it in this video. This was my 53rd book of the year, so 2 more to go. We're going strong. We're on the right track of trying to hit my goal for the end of the year. I am now going to pick my next book, but I'm pretty sure I know what I'm gonna pick up. It's The 7-Year Slip, another really popular book that people rant and rave about. So I'm really excited to start that. Oh, also I want to talk about, so last night after I finished this book, I talked to you guys, I was like, all right, I can't talk about my things right now, I need to set in. I was on TikTok, like bringing up the like hyperfixation, I went on TikTok and I was just watching a bunch of like World War II TikToks because I know I just needed more. And I saw that there's a new Netflix movie out called The 688, which is about the only and first all-black women's battalion that got deployed in World War II, and they like dealt with the mail, trying to get the mail back to the families from the soldiers and from the families to the soldiers during World War II. And this battalion of black women did that, and it was such a good movie. Watch that. Random, not part of this book video, but I watched that after I finished this book. I was like, perfect, another World War II movie, exactly what I need right now, and it was amazing. I loved the movie so much, and that movie had me Googling so much, because I've never heard this story before, and I love that we're telling these women's stories. So yeah, let's move on to reading The 7-Year Slip. It's a magical realism book, but also romance, so I feel like that would be a good palate cleanser after The Nightingale, something a little more fun and light. Okay, I am officially a little over 50% of The 7-Year Slip, I think. And this is one of the fastest reads I've had in such a long time. I probably read 10 pages last night before I went to bed, and then the rest all today, and I think it's only like 2 p.m. It's 3 p.m. I'm just flying through this. I feel like I'm gonna finish it in a couple hours if I just sit down and get the last like 100 or so pages done. I'm loving this. It's so fast paced, so easy to read, and just like a delight, I feel like is the word I want to use. It's just like a breath of fresh air. So fun. Let me tell you a little bit of what it's about though. Our main character, Clementine, that's like such a cheesy book name, but I swear the book isn't like that. Her aunt that she was super close with passes away, so she moves into her aunt's apartment in New York City, and the apartment is magical. It can either move 7 years in the future or 7 years in the past. Like randomly when you open the door, you step into 7 years ago or 7 years in the future, which is really interesting. And like the people inside of the apartment are either from 7 years in the past or 7 years in the future. That's kind of just the premise, but there is some romance going on, there's work stuff going on. I feel like I've read maybe like 1 or 2 other magical realism books before, and I usually am not obsessed with like modern day like magic stuff unless it's like a full-on fantasy, but I really enjoy like the magic system that's going on here. It's not like in your face, it's not hard to understand, it just like is what it is, and it like helps drive the story forward. There's a lot of really good quotes that I've been underlining, and even just really simple good quotes that I'm underlining that are just beautifully written. I underlined a page that was like, you need brie, cheese, and a glass of wine, and I was like, yeah. And a lot about like just nostalgia and the past and thinking about where you would be in the future. And I feel like nostalgia is something that really gets me good. So I'm just loving this so much. Oh, and her best friend's name is Fiona, and I'm like, oh, okay. I like rarely ever see my name, so that's kind of fun. Many updates to catch you up on. It is the next day after I finished the 7-Year Slip. It's probably one of the fastest reads I've had in the longest time. I had just so much fun with it. It was really just everything I want in like a rom-com romance read, all packed into this one book. I really was not expecting to love it as much as I did. I've obviously heard so many good things about it, but I just like didn't know it was gonna be that like deep at some points. It had such beautiful word choice and quotes. You saw me at the end there. I was underlining away. There were so many beautiful quotes. Why I think I really connected to this book was there were so many like deeper messages of mental health, nostalgia, dealing with change, figuring out yourself and who you are as you grow up. The one thing that I just really took away from this book is just the idea of trying to stay true to your past self while you're also allowing yourself to grow and change as you get older. And I feel like this book just came at a really good time for me with that. I feel like if you're just dealing with anything about like finding your place in life currently, change, growing up, this would be a really good read for you. After that book, we are on to the last read of the year. Today is December 30th, so I have today and tomorrow to read this book. So I think we're gonna be able to finish my reading goal of 2024. This book, I really haven't seen anyone talk about this. I don't even know where I found it, probably on TikTok, but I was just scrolling through my TBR on Goodreads and I was like, this is calling out to me and I need to read it immediately. It is a YA fantasy about pirates, and there's also romance. And one thing about me, I have like a hyperfixation, special interest about pirates. I don't know why. I think because I like love like fantasy stuff, obviously, like with books and movies and stuff, and then I also like love the ocean, so like combine that together. This was really calling my name. This morning was like such a rainy, gloomy morning, and I woke up early and was just reading this, and I was having the best time. It was like the best ambiance atmosphere to read this book. So I got like 50% in. As I said, it is YA, and I feel like I have like recently just not been able to love YA. I feel like I'm just getting right to that point where it just like doesn't connect to me anymore, really. Writing can seem really young. Nothing cringe is happening. It's just definitely like missing that adult. I couldn't put a finger on it, but it is YA writing, but nothing's cringe. There is high stakes. I'm having a great time. We'll see how else I feel about it. I'm here to give some Fable updates. It is officially New Year's Eve day. Yesterday I was working most of the day, so I didn't read too much, so I've left myself to be down to the count to finish this reading goal in this book, but I feel like I'll be able to do it. I don't have too much left. I have very conflicting feelings about this book currently. I feel like I have a lot of issues with it and so many things that I like don't enjoy, but I'm not like hating it. Like all of the things that are wrong with it like aren't deterring me from the book. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I think it's because the setting is just so fun that I'm like, all right, I'm here for it. Like this is kind of random, this is kind of out of left field, but like I'm down for the ride. The setting just keeps it so interesting, so I'm here for it. And maybe that's because I feel a type of way. Oh, I just threw the book. I think the main issue that I'm feeling with it is there's a lot of telling and not showing, like especially with like the little crumbs of romance. Like I don't see anything that shows they like each other whatsoever, but they're like, oh, I was thinking about him, and I'm like, okay, like I'm not getting that. But we'll see if there's any more in this. Could be like the biggest slow burn of all time, but I feel like we're not getting even crumbs of romance at this point. It's like not evident whatsoever. Usually I'm just searching for any tiny crumb of romance and I'm like rooting for the couple. I have like nothing to cling on to believe in them that they're gonna fall in love. Yeah, I really just want to finish it and reach my goal, to be honest. It's New Year's Eve, so I am currently marinating in self-tan. I'm just gonna put my butt right here and finish this. This is just like super insta-lovey. Maybe that's just like the YA vibes of it. I needed more banter, I needed more flirting, I needed something, but it's just like romance. We are all done with Fable. I just finished it. I feel like everything I just said holds true, other than there was some romance there, but I feel like there was nothing leading up. Maybe that's just a me thing, that I need more with the romance. The plot and the storyline and everything had so much potential. I feel like if just everything was a little bit more developed, we got a little less details about like boating terminology, it would have been so good. Like I want the author to like try again. That's, I don't mean it mean, but I'm like, make it not YA, give me more romance, give me a little bit more high stakes, and I would have loved this. I think what I'm asking for is just, I want an adult romance pirate book. So if you have one of those, I don't even know if those exist, please recommend me one, because that's what I wanted out of this. But it was good. It was a fun time. I read this really fast. I enjoyed it. I also think I'm just like in the opposite of a reading slump right now. I don't know, do we have a name for that in the book community? Yeah, I'm just like eating up books. I first have to put my Fable completion and rating into Goodreads, because we reached my 2024 reading goal of 55 books. I'm so proud of myself. I am gonna give Fable 3 stars. Here we go. Let's do it together. I read it. 3 stars. Ah, guys! No way, this is so exciting. LFG. That's all I have to say. But this was such a fun reading vlog. I feel like we got 2 really highly rated books. We got 1 5-star read with The Nightingale, which I'm so happy about, and I'm gonna be screaming about that book from like the rooftops everywhere. 7 Year Slip, such a fun romance, new genre I kind of haven't delved that much into. And then our little adventure we went on with Fable. So what a good reading week, and what a good reading year in general. I had so much fun filming this video. If you guys love book videos like me, please comment down below, because obviously I love filming them. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the new year. Hate saying that. With some more book videos, some more regular vlogs, everything and anything you guys want.